Harold Reynolds, kind enough to call into the program here from the MLB Network and MLB Tonight, which airs live before and after every single postseason game. How are you, Harold?
I'm good, my friend. How you doing?
Well, I got to tell you what, that game last night sure seems like something that was so significant that it's difficult to come back from. That said, it is game to game. I mean, that's all Aaron Boone could say after the game last night. What do you think?
Well, I mean, there's a couple ways to look at it. Clearly a blowout. It was ridiculous with the final score 16-1, but there was an opportunity there. You know, the Yankees, I thought they didn't play it with much urgency. You know, to me, I look at it like, okay, if worst case scenario, if you lose to yesterday, you have to play today in New York, and then you got to go face Chris Sale on normal rest for Game 5. And to me, last night's game was critical for the Yankees. You got Severino going, you got a healthy bullpen. Once he got into trouble early, and I'm saying the third inning was first and second, no outs, and they continue to keep pushing through that inning, I think you got to go ahead and take him out of the game. And you're only down a run or two at that time. And after that, the floodgates opened up. And I just think they didn't handle it well, where you're sitting there saying, here's what's in front of us. We got to win this game tonight. I didn't think they played with that type of urgency.
Well, yeah, and I guess the Yankees do have somebody in CC Sabathia on the mound tonight who is well-versed in stopping problems for the Yankees. I mean, he might be the perfect pitcher for this evening. What do you think about tonight's matchup, Harold?
Yeah, I love CC going. I think he's going to keep him in it. The difference with CC now than CC 10 years ago, he's going to give you 5, and then what are you going to do? So you're facing a team that's red hot right now. I love the way the Red Sox played, the hit and run, stealing bases. Even Devers was running last night. Mookie Betts scores from first on a double. They did a lot of things without hitting the ball at the ballpark, and that's what presents them as a very difficult club to beat. So I think CeCe's going to be there, but we'll see what happens with that bullpen. And now you got – I think the takeaway last night as well was Evaldi going, into the 8th inning. The Red Sox used hardly nobody out of the pen. And so today they're full loaded, ready to wrap this thing up. And I just don't see the Yankees coming through the series. They may win today, but I don't see them come back and win in 2 more in a row. I just don't see it.
Well, it's tough to win 2 in Fenway Park, and now that's what the Yankees are going to have to do to get through to get against the Houston Astros team, who I want to talk about with you in a moment. But Harold, look, I know it's easy to say this sort of stuff because it's not easy to do the job I'm about to bring up. But when when a pitcher doesn't perform well, like say David Price, he's benched. He's benched. If a hitter has a particularly bad night after a bad night before, or a bad, or a career in which you're wondering what somebody can do or not, they're benched. How in the world is Angel Hernandez allowed behind home plate tonight to call balls and strikes in a crucial potential closeout game after what we have seen from him, certainly last night at first base?
He had a rough night last night. You look at the replays, kind of made it stand out. Sometimes the umpires disappear with replay and keep moving, but he had a rough night last night. But it's the way it's set up. They grade guys throughout the year, and as bad as the public might think Angel Hernandez is, they go back and grade guys, and over the course of his 162-game schedule, he stood up enough to be in the playoffs. So you're trying to put me in a hot spot here.
Sorry, Harold.
I think it's difficult. I understand 100% what you're saying. When you don't perform, and I think that's the frustrating thing for players and managers. Everybody's held to a standard, and I think baseball's starting to do that with umpires. I've seen a few guys not brought back to the postseason this year. And Angel's still sliding by. So we'll see if he continues to be able to skate that. But the iron's hot right now, and the eyes are upon him. So we'll see how he does tonight.
Do you think there's some in the front offices in Major League Baseball a little nervous about his behind?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I think the problem is once you get a bullseye, and it doesn't matter if you're a quarterback, if you're a pitcher or a hitter or an umpire, once you get that bullseye, he's going to call one ball that's questionable tonight, and Yankee Stadium is going to go berserk. And those are the things you try to avoid. I remember Ernie Harwell. He used to always say, Harold, I did umpires like a good driver in traffic and never noticed they're there.
That's great, Harold.
And I think everybody's noticing that Angel's in a red car and everybody else is driving a black car right now, and so that's the difference.
Harold Reynolds here on the Rich Eisen Show. The Astros are still the best team, correct, in all of baseball, American and national.
They're showing us right now. They're flexing their muscles. I mean, you look at the starting rotation, the depth of the players, and I think there's a hunger there and an attitude. And I don't know if you caught what I'm forgetting his name right now, third baseman. He'd kill me.
Bregman.
What Bregman had to say yesterday about the fact they were playing afternoon games. Did you catch that part, Rick?
Oh, yeah, that the Astros are the defending World Series champ, and they're not in prime time. The Yankees and the Red Sox are in prime time. Oh, yeah, they're the warm-up act. They're like, and I'll be honest with you, Harold, they're like the Houston Texans in the playoffs. They're always the first game on a Saturday afternoon of a wild card weekend whenever they're playing. They're the same thing.
And being around that team last year, that's the wrong team to give that little chip on their shoulder. They're playing for more now. It's like, okay, you guys going to treat us like that? Okay, you'll see what we're made of. And I think that's what we're seeing. To me, they are the team to beat, like you said, no doubt about it. National League, American League, they are the team to beat in baseball right now.
They sure are. I mean, I can't see the holes in that lineup. They're so damn good. I mean, just the minute that Bregman you think that he's the best player on the team, George Springer reminds you that he hits home runs like Reggie Jackson in 1977. It's unbelievable in October.
It's scary, and Correa and Altuve are just starting to get hot too. But when you have a guy like Marlon Gonzalez who can throw all over the place and he can produce for you, and then the combination of the guys they put at first, and they just got a really deep lineup. I like how they play the game. A.J. Hinch is really coming to his own. It seems like he's making right moves at the right time. And the whole key is to have the freedom to make moves, but also know your players. And that's what makes them difficult right now.
So what is their weakness? Is there one pitch that maybe throughout the lineup that they have trouble handling? Middle relief? I mean, what would it possibly be, their Achilles, Harold?
The Achilles heel might be if their starters don't go deep. The first game, Verlander went 5 innings, and there's a bridge to Ozuna, the closer. And that can be a little bit sketchy on any club, even if you
sure.
take different guys and put them down there. So that's the Achilles heel. You got to get to those starters early and really be able to knock them out. But, the last thing I'll make with them is in the postseason right now, the team that scores first, I think 11 of the 13 games or something like that, the winner has been the team that scores first. The 2 losses were the Astros came back and beat the Indians twice. So there's not a lot of things that they can't do. They can play from behind. They can play from being ahead. They're very talented.
A couple more minutes left here with MLB Network's Harold Reynolds, Emmy Award winner, and part of the Emmy Award-winning MLB Tonight, which airs before and after every single postseason game. Handicap the NLCS for me. It's Dodgers v. Brewers. What do you got for me on that front?
Well, I think the Brewers are sneaky, man. The Dodgers love to do this matchup thing, and I remember sitting on a set with Joe Girardi, and Joe, even in one of our meetings, saying the Dodgers are the perfect team to bullpen against because they love their matchups. And if you can flip that lineup around a few times, you might get them. So when I look at the Brewers, this is a team that's set up really to get to their bullpen. They're going to ride this pen as far as they can ride it. And they got lefties, righties. They got great matchups down there. So I think you're going to see them really try to make the Dodgers flip their lineup in and out of the game. So that will be how I think they hang with them. Their offense is playing real well right now. This will be an interesting series. I don't think the Dodgers walk through like a lot of people think. The Brewers are going to give them a run for their money.
Well, what is it? Explain that, what Joe Girardi said. I mean, how do you beat the Dodgers by making them turn their lineup around?
Let's take, for example, Jock Peterson usually plays center, right? But he's starting against a right-hander.
Yep.
So let's say like yesterday in Atlanta, they started a left-hander, so Jock Peterson's on the bench. Now all of a sudden you got Taylor playing different places. You're moving their lineup around. You're taking Grandal. What are you going to do with him? So now you get an inning or two into the game, or like Atlanta did yesterday, they get to the 4th inning, and now they flip and they bring a right-hander in. Well, here comes Jock Peterson. You just lost a player off the bench. Matt Kemp's coming out of the game now. So those are different ways to force them as you get down to the end of the game, make a decision what your lineup's going to be. And if you can break up that continuity, you may have a chance to beat them.
And
There's only 2 or 3 guys. Turner's going to play every day. Machado's going to play every day. And not even Muncie's playing every day with his 35 home runs. So you really got 2 guys that are driving to the park and going, I don't need to check the lineup card. I'm in there. Everybody else is trying to figure it out. And they're getting a text message in the morning from the manager saying, okay, you're in. But if you can mix that lineup up, you're going to see the strength or the weaknesses of the Dodgers, how they have to run out everybody.
And that brings me to my last question, because I'm still searching for somebody who wants to back my play on this one, Harold.
Okay.
I think the Dodgers are going to see. They already have what Machado is. Everybody knows how great he is in baseball. I think that the fans are going to fall so head and over heels in love with this guy, and what he might do to the Brewers and or World Series is going to put the front office in a spot where they can't let him go. They cannot let him walk, and they're just going to have to figure out a way with Turner and Seager and whoever else to keep him on this roster. What do you think?
I feel you. I think he's already starting to do that. But I just don't know where the money's going to end up with Manny, and there's going to be so many seekers. I think if the Dodgers – or suitors, I should say. I think if the Dodgers were going to lock him up, I won't say they missed their window, but now you've allowed other competitors to come in. I thought when they traded for him, they'd sit there and try to hammer out a deal. Now, once the season ends, you're going to have 15 other clubs coming there saying, Manny, here's what we're going to bring to the table. Now the Dodgers are going to have to bargain with somebody else out there when they had the bargaining chip all to themselves.
Well, I mean, but it's not like they're broke. I mean, they certainly have the money.
No, they got
right?
money. They got money.
They've got the money, and they've got the sun, and they've got the beach, and they've got the Dodgers name across the chest. I don't know. He's just so damn good, and if he starts winning October games in the same way that he's won a couple now, I just don't see how they let him walk, no matter how much the Phillies or who else is going to throw money at him.
He's a gate attraction, too. And I believe this about L.A. I think the Dodgers have a chance to win a World Series this year, and you could be 100% right. But I also look at it like there's a new market in L.A. now, in the sports market. As soon as LeBron signed with the Lakers, they became relevant in that dollar that people are spending. You only have so many consumer dollars going around. All of a sudden, the Rams are playing great. Before, it was just SC, football, and the Dodgers. And now, all of a sudden, you got some competitors. And so you're going to need a gate attraction. And Manny's going to bring people to the stadium. You want to watch him play. Catching a ground ball, the way he throws, the way he hits. It's one thing to have a pitcher you see every 5 days. Totally different with an everyday player. And to me, that's the sell. If I'm the Dodger front office, I want to lock him up because he's an everyday gate attraction.
Love it. But how dare you? How dare you overlook the Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan Clipper era, Harold? How dare you overlook that?
Yeah, how dare I do that?
Do you like the call of Kershaw starting game one? You like that? Do you like Kershaw game one?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of would like to see him go game 2 again because he had a serious chip on his shoulder. But he'll be Kershaw. It's going to be great. It'll be fun to watch, and he'll be competitive. Look, he's on the road. He's done it before. He'll be fine. Kershaw will be great.
All right, HR. If the World Series is out here, I'd love to have you in studio again.
I'd love to come back. It's fun coming out there. So, yeah, book it. I'm in.
You got it. Right? Absolutely. You got it.
Right,
although it could wind up in Milwaukee, too. You never know. Harold, you take care. We'll chat soon.
I'll be watching you howl at the moon on Sunday because you know you're going to be alone again.
Yeah. Hey, I lone wolfed the Lions, Bills, and Vikings. I was on fire this past Sunday, Harold. I was on fire.
Yes, you were.
Take care, HR.
All right, buddy.
You bet. Same to you. You got it. That's HR. Harold Reynolds.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.